So let us get Anthony. What are the expectations for this session? Like the entire specialization, what are you expecting? Are you here for me or are you here for yourself?
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Uh, First of all, I'm very excited to be here. Although the link was a little problematic, but it's fine now.
Mhm.
Uh, so my expectation in this specialization is to learn the most, can we say, the cutting edge technologies like React and Express,
Mhm.
uh, to build fully fledged software websites. Or I'm not here for the instructor. I'm here to learn. So I hope it will be a good ride and we'll learn a lot. Yeah.
I hope so too. Just a disclaimer is that I'm not going to go easy on you. What I like to do is if I go easy on you, you're going to joyride and you're going to regret later on, like I wasted your time. I'm not going to go hard on you either, but I'm going to try my best to make sure that I follow you up to make sure that the content that I'm delivering, you do more than I do because I'm giving you what is on the LMS. I'm giving you what is on in class right now, but a lot is expected for you to go out there. I'm saying this coming from an experience, a background of software engineering. I myself am a software engineer currently as we speak right now. Actually, even when I'm done with these classes today, I'm going to go back to my to building a system that I'm building remotely in UK. So I'm a software engineer by profession. Like just like other instructors, they were saying, by profession, I'm a data scientist, I'm a this and this. For me, I'm a software engineer. So I'm giving you what I know. If I were in your shoe right now, I would expect the same. For me, I was not given the same privy to have this kind of content. Our content was so slim. I was an alumnus of PLP cohort 1, the first cohort in 2022, and here we are. So, giving you this preview of this information gives you the better chances for fighting out there. AI is here to to chew you alive, so you have to get on top of it. Let's go to another person. Thank you, Anthony. Warren,
Uh, Good morning. Can you hear me?
we can hear you loud and clear.
My expectations for this specialization is to really learn and get ahead of the job get ahead in the job market. I'm currently a student and I find these skills necessary.
Interesting. Thank you. Let us go to where are the ladies? Beverly.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
Um, I'm really eager to learn the frameworks. I have been doing mobile applications, so I can't wait to do the web version of my projects.
Interesting. You have a very interesting goal. Thank you. Uh, I can only see Kenyans. Where are these people? My African people, where are you? I'm very sorry. I don't know what is happening. I was just kicked out. Let's remove the other person. Very, very sorry for that. You see, Kenya Power has this tendency of, in Kenya, you say kuanua stima. So allow me to share my screen again. Apologies for that. We're not here for politics, though. I was talking to who? Before I was rudely interrupted by this. Let me find out. I think I'm done with Beverly. So, my African people, where are you? I'm trying to find somebody who's outside from Kenya. I only see Onyango, Cheriot, these familiar names. Anyway, I think this is it. Hello,
Hey, Diden, how are you?
I'm fine.
My name is Ltata Ramabele from Lesotho. I was just saying hi.
Uh-huh.
I'm one of the African people.
My African people, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Diden.
People, allow me to jump into class right now. Let me lower the hands. I'm going to be taking questions. If you're in web development class, you understand the rules, the house rules. Just keep your hands lowered down. For now, I'm going to allow a few things. For the Q&A is going to be allowed. The chats are going to be down. And then I'm going to open forums. From time to time, forums to make a lot of noise in class, forums to do this and this, so that we can be able to progress well, because it's really important. A minute. Okay. So I'll disable hand raising. It is part of our class rules. Yep. And then I'm going to disable the chats. I'm going to disable the chat, then I'm going to be opening forums for that, so that we can be able to interact, make a lot of noise in class. Yeah. Otherwise, your mouth is going to smell if you're not talking. Anyway, MongoDB. I know you guys are coming here with a lot of expectations. I don't know what you expect me to do, but I'm just going to try my best, because I know within you, amongst us, we have people who are the best, people who are better than I am, you see? So I'll try my best to make sure that I deliver how I can in the shortest time possible. By 12, we should be done. Then at 2, we can resume the content delivery, like the hands-on, because this session is entirely based on content. I've done this with the previous cohort, whereby I have 2 sessions in a day, and it was very effective. Other than doing 3 sessions in a day, repeating the same content over and over again, because you are going to find that my evening content is much, much better than the morning content. Why? I've perfected it across the day. So instead of me redoing the content over and over again, I just do it once. You have the recording that is perfect. Then we have another one that is hands-on, 2 sessions a day, 2 different sessions. And then on Wednesday, we do a catch-up to make sure that, okay, where did we go wrong? What are the challenges that we're experiencing? And what can we do to help you? You see, that is what we want for you. Yeah, so I did that for the previous cohort, and actually they performed well. Right now as we speak, they are in the what we call the assessment session. The assessment is where, after now you have done ManStack or your specialization, you jump into something called talent assessment. What is talent assessment? Yes, you're a software engineer, or tend to be a software engineer, but are you having that thinking mentality? Like, are you able to solve problems? So the talent department takes you through 1 or 2 months training, whereby you get to meet other instructors, other trainers who are able to teach you how to communicate in a job sector, how to give out your solutions, how to think, how to do this and this, how to enter interview, how to sit on an interview, a technical interview per se, and how to perform. If you have heard of data structures algorithms, DSA, this is one thing that is a beast for software engineers, because software engineers, they fear this thing. Data structures algorithms, not data signature. Data structures. Data structures algorithms, this is a nightmare. For me, I've done it countless of times. When you go to LeetCode, I've done it. I have an account there. I've done HackerRank. These things are a nightmare. So the talent, if you are now well versed with Manstack or your specialization, when you enter into a talent assessment, they give you an opportunity for training to become for you to sit on an interview, because there's one thing applying for a job and getting a call that you have an interview, and there's another thing sitting on an interview and actually passing that interview. These people, they give you tough, because software engineers are not paid easy money. They are paid good money. Let me just put it across. They are paid really good money. If I can give you an average for you to actually have your saliva dropping right now, on average, for me, I'm not going to state my own, but on average, if you're working for an international client or in an international company, on average per month, you can scoop more than $1,500. Do that conversion into your own currency and then give yourself an answer. It doesn't come easy. For example, in Kenya, that 1,500 is how much? Multiplied by 129. I'm just giving you an average. So in a month, you're paid close to 200,000 Kenya shillings. I don't know if in Naira or in Zambian Kwacha, or I don't know how much, but you're getting the picture, right? So this on average means it ranges from $900 all the way to $2,000. There was a time I got a job, actually an offer, that was paying 4,000 and $4,200 per month. That is, in Kenya shillings, that is more than 650. That was last year. I did that for a while, but then I think they are overworking me. So I think I just left to venture on other things. Just giving you the perspective that it doesn't come easy for them to actually stipulate this kind of salary. It doesn't come easy. You have to actually work hard for it. They tend to give you data structures not to scare you, but to make sure that, okay, let us see how you think. How do you solve problems? So for example, let me log on to my account. Let us see, just a preview of that. So this is my account. I've not solved a lot of problems here yet. I've done so many in HackerRank. But for me, I've solved actually a couple of. I'm ranked actually right now at 3 million. We are a total of close to 9 million plus developers across the world who are using this. For me, I've not solved a lot, but as you can see, I've done it countless of times. So it is actually started 2 years ago. So I'm talking out of experience, not just speaking. Not to scare you, please. I'm not scaring you. I'm just trying to give you the picture. Yes, you're training to become a software engineer, but beyond that, there's a lot that comes with the software engineering. There's a lot. So you have to train for it. Yes, I'm training you MongoDB right now. But if I can give you big data, can you be able to scale it? Can you be able to write these algorithms that are able to make sure that our database doesn't fail? That is the big question. So learn with an agenda, train with an agenda. Becoming a software engineer is not easy. It's not easy. Actually, amongst us, we have people who are going to become entrepreneurs. That's why we have a model called for startup for entrepreneurs. So you learn at PLP so that you can be able to have your final project as your startup. So that is very much possible. We have alumnus who have done that. That is Nelly. We have Moses, Liech. We were in cohort 1. But people like me, no, I said, for me, startup is not for me. I know myself. I can build startup for somebody as a software engineer, but I myself, I don't want to venture into the business perspective. I know myself. That is my goal. I'm not envying anyone. That is my path. I can be part of a startup, but not as a business person, but as a technologist, like somebody who is venturing on technology. Like everything technology in that startup, that is me. Right now, I'm building a startup based in UK remotely. They have a CEO. They have a CTO, but for me, I'm the sole engineer. I'm building everything together. Like, for me, that is what I like. And I'm being paid well for that. So just know your purpose, just know your goal. It's not everybody is meant to become a software engineer. Actually, we have people here who are going to be tech leaders, people who come and bring visions in companies. So just know your path and learn it through. Don't envy anyone. Don't envy, say, I want to become like my instructor did. No, you don't know what it took for me to be here. If I can tell you my story, you're going to give up right now. So let us just put that aside. Anyway, enough for advices. Let us go for the class now. Now, I gave an email, told you to install MongoDB Shell, MongoDB Compass. I hope you guys did that. If you didn't do that, no problem, no problem. So just navigate. Let me see if I can be able to share. So yeah, the link is on the chats. Just proceed and download what you're focusing on. If you are on Windows or whatever, you come and download MongoDB Shell. This is called MongoDB Shell. I know you have done MariaDB with database. I want just to take the exact feeling and put it here for you so that you can be able to feel at home. So MongoDB Shell is just like MariaDB. You are just writing commands on your terminal or on your command base. So you can do it for Windows. We have Windows, Mac, and everything. I'm a Linux person. I'm a Linux person, no offense. I'm going to use what I want. So just install it now or at your own time. You can proceed and install MongoDB Compass. This is the graphical user interface, just like XAMPP. If you have used XAMPP for database, for me, I've done that the past so many years ago. So come and install them according to your operating system that you have. If you can proceed, you can go for Atlas. Atlas is now the version for production environment, like you are building for deploying online. For me, I'm not going to focus on this. Just go and install MongoDB Compass. That is the GUI and the MongoDB shell. After that, I think you're going to be cool. For Windows, I think it's easy because when you go to Windows, you just install the MSI, Microsoft installer, Microsoft software installer. It is much easier. It gives you everything. If you are on Linux like me, yeah, you have to suffer a bit because there's a few things that you have to do actually. But no pun intended. This is MongoDB class. Just feel at home. This is database on steroids. If you don't know, this is database on steroids. Much easy to understand. No biggie. Like this class is going to be the shortest. Like I want you to start feeling stressed when we get to week 4. Because week 4, it is where we bring it all together. We bring MongoDB, Express, and React all together. This is the week that you're supposed to be energetic, really focused, and this is where your full stack development ideology or full stack development spirit is going to come out. And then after that is going to be a slope. So we are climbing a hill. So MongoDB is down here at the hill. We climb the hill to Express. We climb the hill to React. So React.js, I'm going to bring, not CSS. At this time, I want to bring Tailwind. And there's so much beyond Tailwind that I can give you. We are using JSX, or we can even use TSX. But because you are coming from a background of JavaScript, I'm going to use JSX, JavaScript XML, which is HTML running inside JavaScript. We did that in DOM. That's why I actually stressed more about it. Now you know why. From there, we are going to go to the apex, like at the top of the hill, the summit of the hill, which is integrating everything together. Then from there, we can now start dropping down, dropping down, dropping down. And then week 7 is where you're going to a bit stressed, but it's very simple. And then week 8, we are done. So if I were you, I'll just envision it how my rest of 8 weeks is going to run. It is going to be the shortest time if you enjoy the class. It is going to be the longest and terrifying if you don't like it. Now, if you have installed, let me navigate to my terminal. For me, I'm using Linux, so allow me. So if you have navigated into that, I'll start by definitions. And everything is already defined here. The content on the LMS is meant for you, not for me. So MongoDB, this is an SQL. You've done SQL. SQL is structured query language. Then we have NoSQL, something that doesn't follow the ideology of SQL. We have two categories of databases in the world. One is measured or SQL, and you have another one called CQL. CQL is called Cassandra Query Language. If you have done data engineering, like I have, you have interacted with the ETL, extract, transform, and load. People about AI and software engineering, they're supposed to know that, but not entirely. But CQL and SQL, there are two categories. One is using structured data, another one is using Cassandra method. So this is on Apache, data engineering, and so on. So for us, on the SQL side, we have NoSQL. When you're talking about NoSQL, we have so many NoSQL. I can name two. We have MongoDB, NoSQL database. We have ScyllaDB, NoSQL database. ScyllaDB, if you have used Discord, you know ScyllaDB. So Discord, they use ScyllaDB. It is built on C++, but the client side of ScyllaDB is built on Rust. So ScyllaDB is a NoSQL. It is column-oriented, of course. It is different from MongoDB. This information is good for you to understand so that you know the options that you have in life. And then you're going to understand why we pick what we pick. So we pick MongoDB for certain reasons. So unlike traditional SQL databases that store data in rows and tables, MongoDB is there to store data in a flexible JSON-like document. So they call it binary JSON or BSON. So it's storing data in JSON-like documents. If I'm rapping, please bear with me. The session is being recorded. When I talk about tech, I tend to just talk. I can talk like I can just rap it all because the amount of data flowing out of my brain is immense. So just bear with me. This is me. Accept me for who I am. I don't stammer when I talk about tech because I don't want to sound so unsure of what I'm talking about. So it is JSON-like data, by the way. So when you're talking about MongoDB, you will hear things about document, collections here and there. So these documents are grouped into collections, which are then stored in a database. So why use MongoDB, by the way? That's the big question. So number one, three things. Number one, it is the schema flexibility in MongoDB is so amazing. So you can be able to change your data structure without breaking your application. I've just talked about data structures algorithms. So we have data structures aside, then you have algorithms aside. You see, you can be able to change your data structure, the structure of how your data is looking like, without breaking your entire application. So it is flexible. The schema is very flexible. You don't need to rewrite everything or migrate. I want now to migrate everything. No, it's going to change the entire outlook of the application. Another thing is this thing is super fast. So it is super fast and it's very flexible because you can be able to expand that database regarding or depending on the size of your application. What I'm talking about is it is designed for modern web applications because modern web applications, just like your web browsers are running, I don't know what's the version of the engine, the web browser engine. I left it at V8. When I'm talking about V8, I'm not talking about a vehicle. V8 is a web browser version engine. The engine version that you're talking about is called V8. I think it is V8 and above. I don't know the current one. Then the last one is this thing is document oriented. What it means is that how you're seeing real world applications. So in real world, the real world entities, they map naturally into the documents. Like you can be able to morph your data here and there. So that is MongoDB. I want to take your brain back. Do you remember one of the things that we talked about when you were in JavaScript? We are talking about two kinds of data. What? We're talking about two kinds of data types. We have data types that are working on the side of like integer, like numbers, strings, text, and so on. Then we have others. I'm not going to mention these names. I want you guys to piggyback on that. We have other data types that are very different. They are categorized. We have arrays and objects. So pinpoint on arrays, on objects. So you remember how objects are written? You write curly braces, then there are key value pairs. Do you remember that thing? Thumbs up if you remember that thing. The objects in JavaScript. So if you remember that, now take the same exact idea that is now MongoDB in play. Now you can be able to use MongoDB in play. So that's a document. That object that you wrote in JavaScript, that's a document in MongoDB. So a single document is that it is in key value pair, like you have variable, then you have value. So if you don't remember, just go and do the similarities. You're going to find out that. So after doing installation of everything, blah, 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 blah. Now, let me give you an analogy before I just go in. You can be able to take notes. For me, I don't need. The visual analogy that I can give you in real life, talk of something like a cupboard in a school. So talk of a cupboard. A cupboard is an entire set of like a wooden or metallic block that you can put things together. So take that as a database. That's our database because you can store things together because this cupboard has cabinets. That's a database in MongoDB. Then inside, you can have folders, you can have pages, you can have info and so on. So you are going deeper, like it's like you are digressing, you are doing nested looking. But just to give you the preview of everything, MongoDB is very interesting. It's very interesting. This information that is here, just go through it. You're going to understand it. You're going to understand what is a database, what is a collection, which is a document. After understanding all of that, we can now go into CRUD operations. But before we go into there, so let me bring you back to our thing. So just type Mongosh. So Mongosh means MongoDB shell. Or if I don't want to use that, I can come and open mine, which is MongoDB Compass. I already have mine. Actually, I just installed it yesterday because I had reinstalled my entire OS. So this is it. Can decide just to connect it. And as you can see, the database that I have right now, I have few databases here. Let me zoom in for better visuality. So I have 3, admin, config, local. I can verify that when I go back here, MongoDB shell. So when I clear, I say show DBs, the exact same database that I have. So I can decide to use command line, or I can decide to use the graphical user interface that you are seeing here. So however you want it, it is going to be fine. Remember, they're all running on localhost 27017. So let us try and fire up, when you talk about CRUD operation, let us try and fire up a database so that we can be able to see exactly what we're talking about. So what are CRUD operations? You have done CRUD operations a lot. And from now on, this is what you're going to hear a lot. You're going to hear about CRUD operation in MongoDB. You're going to hear about CRUD operation in Express.js. That is what you're going to hear. You're going to hear about CRUD operation a little bit in React. CRUD operations, what is it exactly? Or CRUD, however you are going to mention it. Depends where you went, nursery or kindergarten. That's a definition that you have to give to yourself. So CRUD operation or CRUD stands for create, read, update, delete. So let me just type it. So CRUD operations stand for create, then we have read, then we have update, then we have delete. So CRUD operations, create, read, update, delete. So creating is creating a document, which means adding new records to the database. You're taking something and adding it into your database. It was not there before, so you're adding, you're inserting, you're posting. That is what we call create. On the other hand, reading means you're retrieving an already created document or already created information or already created info in the database. So you are retrieving it, you are fetching it from the database so that you can be able to read it. So it is read like you're fetching so that you can be able to know what is exactly there. So another one is called update. So update allows you to change the values of existing. So you added your name to the database that is creating. You can be able to fetch that name and say, okay, my name is existing in this list. Now, I want to edit this name because the spelling is bad. So that is now called updating. You are updating, you are changing and posting again. The same. It is existing, now you are updating it. Then we have delete. Oh, just to pause there. The first 8 weeks that you did in web development, Python, blah, 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 those were the basics. Those are the basics. So for specialization, that's why we wanted you to focus on one at a time, is for you to specialize. This is not a basic class. This is an intermediate class. Intermediate meaning I'm not going to define for you JavaScript. You already know JavaScript. These building blocks, I'm not going to define functions. I'm not going to define functions. I'm not going to define if else. These are the building blocks that you did in the basics. What you're trying to do here, that's why you use Express.js, MongoDB. We are doing these things because they are frameworked. So delete, I just wanted to note that so that you understand the position that you are in. Remember, you have the entire week for one specialization. If you're talking about MongoDB today, until the next Friday, your head should be ringing MongoDB. Like you have enough time to even complete your assignment. You have enough time to practice by yourself. You have enough time. So that's why I don't want you to do 3 sessions because you're not overwhelmed with the classes. You are going to lie to me. I can use the term that Gerald uses. Thunder is going to fire you. You're not overwhelmed because you have only one class. You have only one class. So there's no reason for you to say, I was this. No, you have the entire week. So if I were you, I could be able to become the best in MongoDB in 1 week. In 1 week, because right now you have everything on the internet. So that's why I said I'm not going to go easy on you. I'm going to formulate a WhatsApp group by end of day, I think, after the sessions are done. After I get the proper data set that I have for you, I'm going to formulate a group, send an email across, then let people join. After that, I'm going to package everything to make sure that the next session is for invite only. Have you gone to a party whereby it is invite only? Yeah, it is invite only. So that next time your joining of the classes is going to be very smooth, very easy, very interactive. So proceeding smoothly, we have the last one, which is called delete. So delete, just as the name suggests, you remove the unwanted records. Of course, you cannot delete something that you want. You remove unwanted records from the database. That now concludes CRUD operation. We are going to see CRUD operation in Express.js. Then you're going to, okay, yeah. So the same ideology, but different perspective. Okay. Now, people, we're talking about CRUD operation. Let us start with create. What is create? Then you go read, blah, 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 then delete. After that, let me just give you a rundown. After doing the CRUD operations, I'm going to go to a smaller, I'm going to conduct a small, what do we call, a small hands-on practice for a class registry. It's not going to be a fully hands-on, but if time doesn't allow us, we can leave it at that. We are going to go to data modeling basics. Then we see how to embed data, how to do referencing, and so on. When talk about referencing, you remember primary key and foreign key in SQL? Yeah, the same thing, referencing and so on. The same ideology applies here, except that you're going to see it differently in MongoDB. Then after that, I think we're going to say, that's it. We can even decide to touch on data aggregation if you want to. We can decide to touch on data aggregation. Yeah, I have to touch on that so that we can be able to understand how do we do aggregation in data. I think that is going to be the apex, data aggregation. Then you're going to call it a session. Now, so CRUD operations, basically, when you hear about this thing, first of all, open your database. how do you create a database? For now, I said, when you say show DBs, you're going to get that. So how do you create a database? So for me, I just say use school. So it has created a database called use school. It has created a database called school. Let me even CLS and exit so that you can be able to see. So MongoDB is very interesting. MongoDB is very interesting. Let me refresh this guy. Where is it? Yeah, refresh. So right now it is connected. I can see some questions have been streaming in on the chats. That is good. So MongoDB, how do you create a database MongoDB? You just come and say use. We said use here, right? Say use school. It is going to switch. It is going to create and switch to that automatically. But when you go to the databases, you're not going to see it. Why are you not able to see the database? Why? Because it is empty. You cannot have a database that is empty. I see admin has data already. These are the defaults. So the school, unless we post data into that database, it is not going to be visible here. So the use is going to create and switch directly. So the use command followed by the name of the database that you want to create. A good example is use school. School is the name of the database. So if you insert data into that database, that is when that database is going to be visible on the other side. Then you can say show DB and so on. When you said use school, it created and switched to the school. Initially it was test. Now, proceeding swiftly, let us try and mimic, because we said that database, like a document in MongoDB, is the exact same thing that you see in JavaScript as object. The object in JavaScript, that is the exact picture that I want you to paint in your head about MongoDB document. So how do you paste data? How do you create data? How do you create data, that document? How do you bring it back? Let me just show you. So you come and say DB, then you say dot. So you use something called dot notation. We use something called dot notation for us to be able to create or to nest information. It's called nested. So db dot, what kind of document do I want to create? I want to create a document called students. So this document called students, hold on. I'm pulling up something here for your benefit so that you don't cast me alive. I have a document here. I'm not going to use it, but I'm going to paste this document, this link on the charts as a cheat sheet. This is called a cheat sheet. It is going to help you understand about MongoDB deeper so that at your own time, you can be doing references and understand the CRUD operations, other things that I'm not going to talk in this class, like the shaded cluster. We have things like replica set, change streams, we have handy commands, all of these things. I'm not going to talk about them in this class. I'm just going to touch on the basics, and then we are going to roll over. Now, students is now our document. The database is school, but inside the school, we have students. So let us proceed. So what you want to do is called insert. So insert, we have two kinds of insert. You can insert one or insert many. So for me, I want one. And good thing about MongoDB is that when you do it on the shell or on the MongoDB shell, it does autocomplete. So I just need to press tab and it does everything. After that, now I can come and put my document right here. So I can come and say name. So what is the name? Let us call the name Brian. People who have just asked questions on the Q&A, I'm just going to open a forum for that shortly. Hold on. I want it to be better. So name. Name Brian. Then you put a comma, just like how you wrote objects. Then you come and say age. After age, let us slap a 23 for this person. Eh? Then we come and say course. So course. This person is taking MERN stack. For those who don't know, MERN stack is now the full stack development module. So you don't need to, you just need to come and close it. And then you can close it now, just like that. So ladies and gentlemen, what you're saying here, we have been able to come up with something called a document. So let us hit enter. When you see something like acknowledge true, that means that it has successfully created that. Let me see the Q&A. They are streaming here like crazy. Okay, for compass, I'm going to show you both methods, the compass way and the MongoDB shell. This is the MongoDB. So let us see if that database exists in our MongoDB compass. So when I come here, let us refresh. As you can see, we have school. When I go into school, I have, this is the document. And as you can see, we have that. I can do the same here. I can come here and say click plus, put the name of the document that I want to create here, and then create collection. When I create the collection, you're going to find out that we have things here. We have aggregation. You can see the schema. You can see the indexing, validation, and so on. So these are the things that I'm talking about. If I'm doing aggregation, I can come and create another one here if I want to. Why is it not creating? So aggregation is where you aggregate data. You can be able to group, you can be able to just play around with data structures and so on. Yeah, these commands that I'm giving you, these commands that you're seeing here, this is not Ubuntu. This is just MongoDB. This is the interface that you're seeing. This is just MongoDB. How you install it and use it inside like this, that's up to you. So for me, I'm showing you this way. You can be able to use something called Git bash. You can use Git bash. I'm not using Windows, so I've never used Windows for programming, especially MongoDB or something. I'm used to this one. But what I know is that when you're using Git bash, you can be able to mimic the exact commands. You can be able to mimic the exact environment rather. So actually, you should be able to retire Windows as soon as possible and go to Linux, any distribution that you know. Just go into that. So let us create, there's a reason why I'm telling you that. Mainly because using Linux, you can be able to just be flexible in programming. Yeah, you can be very flexible in programming. So let us create another collection now that you're in MongoDB Compass. So you come and create collection. Here you can come and say, let us see. If I'm here, I can be able to come and add another one. I can come and add data. So let us add inside a document, just like that. So as you can see, I can do it in JSON, I can do it in that way. So if it is in JSON, I can just come and paste a document right here, how you're seeing it. So it is not that hard, by the way, it is not that hard. For this one, I can able to come and edit it if I want. I can edit it in JSON. So this is how it is behaving in JSON. Forget about this. This is what you're seeing between line 2 and 3. Let me zoom in. What you're seeing between line 2 and 3, that is now what comes in. Hey, so many questions are streaming in. Let me start answering these questions. Okay, let me answer these questions. Is UI UX under full stack? Yeah, but we are not specializing on that. If you want to go become a front end, you can just focus on React and so on. Let's explain what it means. I've seen in some full stack. Yeah, UI UX is the front end. Like you're creating the best user interface for the best user experience. UX is the user experience. Okay, let us go. What should someone like me who can't make it to attend decision during the day do? But you're in. Anyway, we have the recordings for the classes, and then we have the catch-up classes on Wednesday. So please, you have every opportunity. If you are studying Manstack, is it possible? Let me disable this thing first. People are streaming questions and it's going to let me down. If you are studying Manstack, is it possible to break into mobile app developer using React Native? Yeah, that is brilliant. You can do that. You can do that if you want to, but that's advanced stuff. Good day. I'm unable to access the assignment. Yeah, assignment is not live. I've disabled all the assignments for now. I'm going to upload them and then send an email promptly about updating that. Somebody saying awesome, awesome. Where do I learn data structures? You can go on YouTube, find things there, but I'm going to communicate on that when the time is due. The WhatsApp is going to come. What is MariaDB? I guess that is a question for SQL. This is an SQL. You can research just go on the internet and browse MariaDB. It is an interface, just like MongoDB shell for MySQL. Why is the link in LMS are not working? Facing challenges, I've already addressed that. And apologies for that. Can you share the link? The MERN module is no longer on LMS. The MERN is there. You can direct the question to the Academy email. Sir, what if I already downloaded MongoDB community server? There's no problem for that. Our dashboard is not working. The tech name is going to be enabled. Please say done. Give us Ubuntu versions. I'm using Ubuntu latest version 25. I was using something called Linux last week, but I got bored quickly and left it. Linux is Windows Linux operating system. You have an interface like Windows, but actually it is Linux. Kindly repeat. We are only installing modding. You can install all of them if you want to. For me, I'm just giving you the best experience. If you download, you can download all of them if you want to. But for me, if you ask me right now, if you ask me for better programming and testing, I normally recommend using MongoDB Compass because you can go quickly. But sometimes I really want to use MongoDB Shell so that I can be able to go about those commands. How do I connect MongoDB to localhost? You can just hit the connect here. But if you're using Linux, please, I'm not going to help you. I want you to suffer a bit and go and find the tutorials online or ChatGPT. Why am I going hard for Linux people? Because you guys are not beginners. So you have to go to the hard stuff. The Windows people, I totally understand. But the Linux, please, you chose Linux for a reason. Kindly let us know when MERN is available on LMS. So far, I have only received invitation. Oh, if you receive the invitation, okay, the people have been complaining that they were placed in the wrong, the LMS was showing the wrong module. The technical team is working on that. MongoDB is not recognized internal, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm going to research the command on MongoDB, but for now, just use the shell, the compass. I guess the shell is hard for people. Please, what is the difference between Manstack and software development? Full stack development. Software development is now the course that you're studying. Everything entailing building a software. Full stack is just a stack, one stack that you want to venture on. How do we get about installation? I follow practice, blah, blah, blah. No idea how to do it. We are going to do that in a catch-up later on. Could you help with configuring MongoDB shell? I'm unable to. If you're using Windows, I'm going to find tutorials for that. If you're using Linux, I'm not going to help you. I just want to help you by allowing you to do more research. If you could, the exact command for mongodb, same question. It seems like Windows and Ubuntu, yeah, very different. You're very lost, don't worry. Yeah, I know this command. This is where, if you're using Linux, you're supposed to fire up MongoDB systemctl, but don't worry. Can MongoDB use, I don't know. I don't like PowerShell actually. One of the main reasons I left Windows. Why my terminal doesn't allow me to type the command? It tells me the command not found. The configuration, Linux, if you want to deal with create a database from scratch in MongoDB Compass, please. I'm going to do that. So now I'm gonna touch on software. I'm not going to do it for software engineering. That is not my area. How I establish the connection. I'm going to show you that. For Linux version I'm using 25, Ubuntu. How do I run that shell? Help me install MongoDB. I sent the link, check on the charts. We don't need MongoDB server now because without it we cannot run. But I sent an email yesterday giving instructions about that. So let me resolve a few things that I've seen. So let me create a database from scratch, delete this one. Okay, doesn't allow me to drop the database. So let me create a database from scratch. So you just come, first of all, let me do this. Disconnect. So right now, this is what you're seeing. When you open MongoDB, this is what you're seeing. So first things first, click connect. Just click connect. We have things here. Just click connect. It's going to establish that connection. You can have that MongoDB shell as well here, by the way. If you want to feel better, you can have that MongoDB shell right here. Show DBs, by the way. Same thing, by the way. You have MongoDB shell on MongoDB Compass. A behavior just in Linux, just like in Linux. Let us just leave that open. When you hit the plus sign here, for me, my theme, let me switch to light theme for the sake of those who might be very confused. So when you hit the plus sign just beside here, you can go to come and create a database. So the database is called school and the collection name. We have to create a collection name as well. So our collection name is called student. When you're creating a new database, for it to be posted, remember I told you, for it to be available in the list of the database, you have to have a document, a collection of document there. I don't want it to be time series or anything, just the default create database. It is done. So as you can see, we have it. When I come to my shell, I say show DBs, I can have school there. I can have school there. Now, proceeding, how do you create data? How do you post the data? So there are several ways you can be able to post data so I can be able to use the JSON way. I can come and upload the JSON if I want to. You see, we have importing or inserting document. So I want to go with inserting. So what you're supposed to be focused on, is now here. Paste one or here. So come and paste one or more. So just like something like this. So you come and say name. Let me zoom in again. So name, Brian, comma, and then you come and say age. Age, give them 23 again. Then you come and say something like a course. Then you can say it's doing MERN. And then we are done. So you have to hit comma because we have this. If you don't have comma, it cannot give you access to build that. So after that, when you see this, you're done. So click insert. There you go. So you have name, age, course. This one is already created for you. It's like the primary key, like the ID to define everything. So it is already there. So don't worry about that. We have another thing called, if you want to work with the MongoDB Atlas, we are going to talk about that, not now, but in the deployment phase, week 7. I don't want to talk about it right now because you're going to overuse it and abuse that. I want you to work on that when you're deploying. It is much better there. So that is that. So let us insert another one. Let us insert another one. But this time, let me copy a command because I want us to go quickly because now you get the picture. So just if your MongoDB shell doesn't work, please feel free to use the MongoDB shell that is available in MongoDB Compass. Are we clear? Thumbs up if you are clear on that. Perfecto. Now, let us proceed. So let me come and paste what I have to paste here, just like that. So I want you to spot a difference here, people. I want you to spot a difference. We are saying insert many. We can insert more than 2 documents, more than 1 document at once, at a go. So how do we do that? So we come and use something called array. So we come and put something like square brackets. Then inside square bracket, you can put so many objects or so many documents. You can have the one for Joy, you can have the one for Zahara, and so on. So when you're done, you can just hit enter. Then you're going to get all of them arranged. When you come back here, when you hit refresh documents, you're going to see 3. Okay, why is it not working? So, oh, yeah. Sorry. It's just not working because I'm working in test. You see, I'm a kind of fool there. So, use school. And then I can now come and paste what I have to paste there. So, when I come here and hit refresh, I should be able to see all of them. All of them. My new connection is asking for a name. Put a name. My MongoDB shell and MongoDB Compass have not connected. Okay, we are going to see that. I'm seeing error creator. I'm going to see that as well. Okay, so as you can see, we have just focus for now. Forget about installing. Focus. You're going to use the recording later on to see how we are doing this. But right now, focus, please. Focus. Now, this one is now what we call posting. You have post data. We have already post data right in our database. You can be able to see it. Now, let us proceed to read. Now, what is read? So when you want to filter certain data based on something, so when you want to see data based on a certain query, as you can see here, we have people doing web, we have people doing AI, we have another person using MERN, and so on. So right now, I want to do a search. And when I want to do this search, I can do this search based on so many things. And I'm going to show you things. And please use the link that I already shared, which is the cheat sheet for your advantage. Okay, I don't know why, but I think you're facing my problem. So let me flash all of my MongoDB, the one that I have. Let me flash all of them, then I'm installing it with you so that you see. So let me delete this one. I want you to see the entire process beforehand. So I'm going to run a few commands here. Don't be scared. They are just a process for flashing out, deleting things. Okay, let us check. Let us disable as well. Okay, removed. Let me purge all of them out of the system. So cd apt, it is normally purge, accept purging. Then what I'm targeting is MongoDB organization. Then anything beyond that, it is going to remove anything beyond that. Okay. Why is it behaving that way? Let us try another one. Bear with me, I'm almost done. Why is this waiting, doing things like this? So let me kill all of them. Okay, so if I come and say Mongosh, I should not be saying, okay, we are now fresh. We are now fresh. Let me uninstall the compass. So when I installed the compass, it was MongoDB compass. Sudo so that one should remove the entire, it is supposed to disappear right now. Yeah, it is gone. I don't have the compass. As you can see, it's not there. So let me install it afresh with you. Let me go and fetch that link. If you attend the class for MongoDB with an idea for what do we call? With an idea of SQL, thinking that is the same as SQL, you're very sorry, it is not the same. Very different. Now, for me, let me install it. So I'll start by shell, but I want to focus myself on MongoDB because this is the one that I want you guys to use. So focus on this one, Ubuntu 64 plus. This one is the stable version. So I'm installing the compass. Let us install the compass together. So for me, let me activate my download. Let me activate my download. Okay, I have another one, so let me remove it. Actually, mine even installed the community there and everything. Let me remove all of them. Then install, download. What is wrong with this? Supposed to be gone. Oh, yeah. Supposed to be in the downloads. Where is it? There you go. Now let us install it now. The downloads. Give it a few minutes, few seconds. So depending on your distribution, if you're using Windows, come and find what you want, but I will prefer using MSI. MSI it is going to work. Microsoft has lately restricted a lot of things, so work with the MSI, 64-bit MSI, which is Windows 10 and above. The link is on the charts. The link is on the charts. Let me reshare again. Okay, I don't know about that. I'm not a Windows person. I must tell you that. So this one is done. So let us install. So my process for installing, okay, it is there. So for me, I normally say sudo apt install mongodb compass. So it's going to install it promptly. We want to work with just the compass so that we see compass. Here it is. Let me pin it on the dock. So it is firing up. Here it is. This is what you're seeing, just like me. So when you're told add connection, so you can come and click connection. So this is what you're seeing. So this is exactly what you're seeing. So you can come here, just give it a name. So let us call this one PLPBP. And then give it a good color. So I leave everything as it is. This is the connection that you're using. So I'll just leave it, then save connection. So you're still getting problems. So advanced connection options. Okay. Just trying to figure out why. Okay, yeah, I know why. I know why it is doing that way. So I want fixes. I'm asking ChatGPT to give me fixes for this one. I don't know why I'm encountering, but I know why. So I'm going to do fixes for Ubuntu, for myself, and then for Windows, I'm going to advise. I can package it in something, then I'm going to advise. So there's something called mongodb. So mongodb, that is what you're supposed to have. So let us come and see. For me, what I usually do, I assume that I don't have AI. This is what I do. I come and paste it on my browser. Then I'm going to get the Stack Overflow fix. You see, people are suffering just like you. So you get the Stack Overflow fix. Stack Overflow fix, but for me, let me focus on the, you see, we have something called mongodb, okay, for Windows. Why is somebody laughing? Yeah, I know I have to install the server, but I just want to suffer as you. For me, I have my fix for Ubuntu, but I'm just wondering how you guys are going to cope up with that. Because we can have the server here. We have CLI, Kubernetes. I can spin up the server, is it? That was for VS Code. So for Windows, I think I have a fix for Windows. So you just proceed and download the community version. Let me paste the link on the charts. So we have the link on the charts. So go and download the community version, choose your operating system. Let me bring it here for people to have a see. So yeah, you need the server. But you see, for me, I don't need to go through all of these processes. So I can just come here and pick my Ubuntu. So I'm dealing with Ubuntu Even 25 is not here, but let us just focus on 24. It works magic. So I can decide to install the community server, which is that, or come and work with Kubernetes. So for Windows people, you also have a fix here. So just proceed and do Windows 64 MSI. We have MSI and zip, but focus on MSI. So after doing that, it's going to be much, much better for you to work around with that. For me, let me work with my own method. So for me, I have the server, Mongoose, and everything. So let me focus on the server and then click download. So it's going to prompt a download. And then I'm going to do an install of the same. So here it is, oh, mongodb org. Just like that. So default in the N. Yep. So that one goes on the background. That server goes on the background such that I should be able to spin. Let us refresh. So after that, for me, let me just guide you step by step. After installing this one, you should be able now to fire it up, like set it up. For Windows, how you do it is you go to PowerShell and say start service, then the name, then you give it. Then you can be able to search. For Windows, you say where mongodb, or with Linux, you say which mongodb. So all on the same thing. So for me, I can come and say status. For me, for Windows, it's a bit simple. For me, as you can see, it is disabled. So I can come and just start it. Then I say status, okay, enabled. So it is enabled. Start. Okay, we're having a lot of issues here. Let us check first of all so the version is already there. Let me restart. I'm wasting a lot of time on this, but I think we are almost done. Restart. Yeah. Somebody saying slowly. Oh, I'm doing fixes for Windows, Linux. If you have Linux, I'm sorry for that. For me, I usually do fixes for Linux. Okay, we are almost done. We are almost done. Here we are. Let us start it up. Then let us check on the status. Yeah, there you are. Fixed. Computers cannot stress me out, by the way. So let us, yeah, you see the connection is there. For me, they cannot. They cannot. Anyway, let us proceed. I'm very unfortunate. I don't have a class. I don't have access to Windows. I cannot use Windows, but I'm going to share a fix for Windows later on. I'm going to share a fix for Windows, which is very simple. I don't know how to put it. Let me see. Let me package a document right now, really quick, so that I can be able to share it with you. Windows people. Okay, I'm sharing a link. macOS and Linux are in the same team. Let us suffer together for doing research. Okay, just to make sure that we are clear, all of these fixes are available on the internet. How did I get about them? I'm not an expert. I just research on the internet right now as we see, and I'm able to fix it right now with you. So if I'm able to do that with you, you can as well do your own research and find the answers. By the way, it is very simple. Don't limit yourself. Research is good. Browse on the internet. I have these issues. What can I do about it? Fix, 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 fix. I'm using Windows. What can I do about it? You fix things. Now, let us proceed. Create a database. Students. Let me fetch what I have to fetch here. I'm back to class, by the way. Let me insert this. So I can use MongoDB shell if I want to. Yeah, remember if you want to, it's not a must, really a must. You can spin up your MongoDB, so use school. Then, nope, I can come and do that. Just like that. So when I go here, I can be able to refresh it, and then I see the data there. I can come and put many. Allow me just to copy and paste. This is what we have already done. I can come here, refresh. We have data there. So how about searching? We were there at searching. So how about searching? When it comes to searching, how do we make sure that we have the correct data that we want? So we said insert one, insert many. That is for creating. How about reading? So for reading, we can find all. So there's something called db dot. We come and say students dot find. So when you say find, supposed to be dot find. So when you say find, this one is going to fetch everything. Everything, like, doesn't matter. It's going to fetch the entire database, this command. Now, if that is for fetching, let me continue zooming in. That is for fetching. Let us fetch specific one. So there's something called aggregation that I wanted to do, but just allow me to mention it. So there's something called greater than, less than, equal to, greater than or equals to, and so on. So how do you make sure that when you are searching, you are able to use something like that? So you come and say db dot students dot find, but I want to find that particular one. So how do I make sure that I want to find people with I can see here we have ages 21, 22, 23. I want to find ages greater than, ages greater than what? Greater than 22. So that is going to give me only 23. I want to find ages greater than 21. That is going to give me 22 and 23. Greater than, like, it is not equals to 21, but it is greater than 21. You see? So it is greater than 21. So it is not going to give me Joy. It is going to give me Zahara and Brian. So let us see something like that. So we can come and say, I want to find age. I want to search by age specifically. And in this age, I want to use something called greater than. So you say GT. You use that $sign, then you say GT, then you put 21. So this one, what is going to happen? It is going to give me 2. Any age that is greater than 21, that is Zahara and Brian. Greater than. Remember, it is not greater than and equals to. It is greater than. Anything that is above that. So it is not that, but above that. It's going to give me that. So that is called conditioning. You are trying to give conditions. So I want to find in the database greater than. So we have also less than, by the way. So I can come and say less than, you say LT. So LT is less than. I can come and say I want less than 22. So less than 22 is not 22. It is anything below 22. I only get Joy. You see? That is what you have. So all of these things, they are good. So they are called MongoDB queries. Like you can be able to write all of these queries to make sure that you are well aligned. We have LT, we have GT. Like you can be able to quantify things if you want to. You see, you can be able to quantify things. Let me find others that you can be able to see. I'm trying to multitask here to cover things that I can be able to cover in the shortest time. So we have other things like equals to. So you have equals to, you have not equals to, we have greater than or equals to, less than or equals to. You have like another thing like invalid, like values like you're specifying. You have something that you cannot be able to match. So we have like 6 or 7 of them. Then we have logical. So these are part of comparison operators. What you're seeing here, this is called comparison operators. Comparison operators, that is part of, I can be able to see them in, do we have them in what? I can be able to see them in the cheat sheet. These are comparison operators. I can be able to play with them all day long. I can come and say, I want edges that are less than or equals to. LTE, less than or equals to 22. That is going to give me 22 and 21. Just like that. Greater than or equals to. So GT, give me anything 22 and above. Thumbs up if you're getting the point. This is about fetching data. So in the same course about fetching data, remember I'm talking about comparison operators. We also have logic operators. We have element operators. We have array operators. We have evaluation operators, example operators, blah, 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 blah. So many. So many. I can even package it for you in a document. Let me package them in a document. Then share it to you right now. This is an extra thing that I didn't want to teach in class. But anyway, why not? Uh-huh. I'm putting it in the wrong email. Let me put it in the right email. Let me put it in the right email. Okay, there you go. So let me share the link. I was not supposed to teach this one, but I was digressing, so why not? So all of these operators, I think they are going to be very valuable for you. So let me proceed to the next step. So let us talk about updating. This is now fetching. This is now fetching. So when you say find, you find all. This is going to find everything. Then we have another find that you can able to specify using these comparison operators and so on. Let us go and see something about updating. So when you talk about updating, what are we talking about here? When you talk about updating, you have the current data, but we want to change it, to like morph it, to make sure that we are doing something different. You see? So we can able to do something like that. For example, let me press something here, then I'm going to explain. So I want to change Brian's information, that is age and course. So I want to change, the name is Brian, but I want to change this. So we have this operator called set. We have this operator in MongoDB called set. So what does set do in MongoDB? Because it's important for us to be able to understand what set operator. So the set operator replaces the value of a field with a specified value. So we have the current value. Let us try and specify and replace it. So the set operator does that. As we speak right now, this is the current information we have for Brian. Man stack, man and 23. But we want the age to be 24 and the cost to be full stack, not what you're seeing here. So we are going to refresh in a short while. You see, when you refresh, then when you hit enter, we have like modified something. So let us come and see what exactly have we modified. So as you can see, we have 24, we have full stack for Brian. That is what we are having there. So we are able to do that. So we can deal with set operators. We have other operators that are out there. They are free of use. They are great. Let's go to the next step, which is we can also increment numbers if you want to. You see, we have this learner called Joy. I don't know if you have one of them here. We have a learner called Joy. We can come and say, let us increment the age of Joy by 1. So we have the age of Joy, which is 21. We want Joy to be 22 now. So we have this operator called increment. So we increment the age by 1. So when you hit enter, you come and refresh Joy. There you are, 22. So that is updating. It is limitless. There are so many things. I'm just trying to give the perspective of, okay, this is what MongoDB can do. The best effect about MongoDB, you are going to see it in Express.js, whereby we are going to post data from our backend and even see the data directly posted on the database, and we can able to fetch it. It is beyond database. But now that you already have all of these basics, I'm just going to offer all of this to you. Now, deleting is straightforward. Deleting is straightforward. You can do it here. By the way, it's not a must use all of these commands here. You can come and do modifying here. You can come and change these things here, by the way. You can come and change these things here. You can come and change these things here. So I can come here and click update. And then I can do all the updates here if I want to. What do I want to update? I put them here. Simple. I can come and even delete it from here. So I want to delete Brian. I can come and delete Brian from here. Or I can just come here and delete it from here. But for me, I want you to get used to the command base because that one is going to show you like you're a program of sorts. So I want to delete Zahara. I can click delete here if I want to. You see it is here. I can click right now here, or I can just come and run this command. So deleted, when I come and refresh, it is gone. Or I can come and delete everyone who has a course called web. I can come and delete everyone who has an age that is above 24 or below 22 if I want to. That is now deleting. So let us do a short hands-on Or let me leave this hands-on for now, then do data modeling. Then we are going to do this hands-on and so many others in the afternoon session, right? I want to cover content for now. So let us do something called data modeling. When you hear about data modeling, before we proceed, have we understood CRUD operations on MongoDB? You came here new. Let me open the forum for making noise. Noisemakers, where are you? Just give me a feedback. Give me a feedback. You came in new, you didn't know what is happening, now you are good. Or any feedback. Being lost is actually okay. Being lost is actually good. That means that you need more time to understand it. But like I said, don't bring the mentality of MySQL or SQL. You're going to be very confused because if you try to compare and see how is MongoDB fitting into SQL, it is not SQL. It is no SQL. Very different. Oh, I cannot switch to Windows. Oh, Eric, I cannot. That I cannot. I have told you that I'm a software engineer. In my line of work, Linux works best. Linux works the best. It works the best, works wonders. I tried to dual boot my computer, refused. I don't know why. But don't worry, don't worry. We can have a catch-up class, or I can send documents about Windows. These questions are going to come up. Okay, you guys are starting to talk. Let me mute all of you. Now, let us go to the next step, which is data modeling. When we talk about data modeling in MongoDB, this essentially means you are deciding how data structure or how to structure your data in MongoDB. So MongoDB supports two kinds of way on how it can be able to relate with data. We have embedding and referencing. Like you want this data to communicate with this kind of data. So you can embed data or you can be able to do all of this. So this is called data modeling, essentially. Like I said, we have two ways to relate with our data. We have embedding and referencing. So embedding, what is embedding essentially in data modeling? This is where you do nesting of documents. So you do nested documents. You embed one document inside another if it makes sense to always access maybe two pieces of data together. Like you don't want to stress more about accessing Brian and Joy side by side. You just want to access data, Brian and Joy all at once. So you can be able to embed all of them. You see, you can be able to embed all of them. So let us give an example of this. So let us create another database, another document, or let us have a student and their contact. Let us have a student and their contact, or like something of sort. Let me see. Anyway, I think I get the gist of it. I'm checking on my notes here. After this data modeling, that is embedding and referencing, we are going to be done with the session. We meet in the afternoon for hands-on, and then it is going to sink in. Let that sink in. There's a meme for that, by the way. Okay, yeah. Now I'm getting it. Okay. Okay, so since we are doing this collection, let us proceed and let me just delete the entire collection that we had. Okay, now we are good. So this collection is empty. Now we want to work with the collection that uses, the collection will use students, courses, mentors, enrollments, blah, 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 blah. In the focus of talking about data modeling. You see, we want to see how this data modeling is going to go about. So first things first, we have this, so you can come here and say, but then you can come here and say show collections. You can be able to see we have only one. So let us create another one, which is called courses. So in these courses, we should be able to see something. Then we are going to see how to work around like embedding. So let me just give a preview of what embedding is. So a good analogy is that when the related data is used together frequently, when you're using a certain kind of data frequently, that is one case that you can able to use it, when to use it. Like another case is that when you want to, like when the sub data that you have is only relevant to one document, it's not going to be shared on any other platform or any other part. Another use case is that when data is small in size, that is another use case. So a good example, you can able to spin something like, let us work with the student. So let me just copy this JSON and come here and add data. So insert document. This is another good way of inserting document. So just come down here and I'm going to put it. No, let me just copy this right here. There. I just want to give you a picture of what is happening. So forget about this. Focus on this. So we have student ID. We have name, we have email. Then on the address now is like another whole new document that you're creating. So this address, you're able to embed it inside the information for this student. So a student with the embedded address, this is what you're talking about. So this address can be aside like its own document, but because it's relating to this student, so we're attaching it as one of the information that is there. So that is what we're calling embedded. So such that you have the first data, second, third, and so on. Then when it comes to the address, instead of just doing it that way, so you come and, who is doing that? So we come and, I know you are not understanding, but yeah, it is not easy. Stack is not easy. If it was easy, it will be worthless. So that's why it is. I know right now you're not understanding it, but it's going to sink in the next few weeks as you do more practice and as you do the assignments. So we have embedded this address as part of a document. It's inside there. So think of it like this. So the address is part of the student. When you get the student, you also get the full address. So you have to get to the student so that you can get the full address. So no need to create an address collection outside. So you just need to create it inside to be one full package. So after that, let me put a comma there, then I can insert the document. So as you can see, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Now, another example is we can do product with embedded reviews. Let me just show you how that is done. So product with embedded reviews, how do you do that? So we have product so-and-so. I come here. I just do like that. I'm going to explain, don't worry. So product ID, P123, laptop is the laptop review. So picture this, you are in Jumia or Amazon. How do they get reviews and rates? So a particular laptop has been bought by 1,000 people. These 1,000 people, they have been giving different rates and reviews. So how do we get all of these reviews? We can go to Brian, we just go to the laptop and find all the reviews packaged together under this laptop. Not to go to Brian, find the laptop and the review, Sarah, laptop and review, Sharon, laptop and review, and so on. No need for that. What needs to happen is very simple. Let me minimize this. Just give the name laptop. So what is happening is we have to go to the laptop, then you're going to find the reviews. We have how many reviews? 50 reviews. Somebody saying 5, another person say, and so on and so on. So you can be able to have all of this embedding. This is nested embedding. So what are the pros of embedding like this? So all data is in one place rather than splitted ways. Another way, it is easy and fast to read, as you can see. It is easy and fast to read. Okay, sorry. It is easy and fast to read. But what are the disadvantages of doing something like this? I'm teaching you, but I'm not saying that it's recommended for use. The disadvantage is that you cannot easily update a review without loading the entire whole product. So the product is laptop. Without loading it, you cannot update the review. So you have to have the laptop so that you can have the reviews, not the other way around. Number two, it becomes messy when it grows too big. Imagine you have 1,000 people having all of the reviews. Having all of them here, it is going to be messy, tight, untidy. So we have to make sure that that is not happening. So I'm teaching you, but yeah. So as you can see the difference, when you're having one document embedded inside another document, it appears as an object. Like I told you, this is an object. Like I told you, this is an object, just like in JavaScript. But when two objects are coming together, they form an array. Like I told you, I hope you remember. You're now getting the whole picture. This is now, these are the two examples for embedding. How about referencing? So referencing, as the word suggests, you are referring. So pointing this one to this. So when to use this thing? When to use a referencing? When the related data is shared or reused. Like when you are using something over and over again, student ID is being used in more than one place, you do referencing. Number two, when the related data is large or independent, you don't want to, just like when you are creating files, you see when you're dealing with components, I'm creating my CSS here. It is very big, but I want to use it in my HTML. So I can just call it, I reference it. I call it, say, link this one, blah, 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 index.css. Same thing applies here. So, and another thing, of course, when you need to update subdata oftenly. Now, let us strike two examples. Let's strike two examples. And we are going to see how. And then I'm going to explain. So let us start with let us create another one here. Call it course. Create a collection called course. So this course, let us rename it to courses to make much sense. Okay, courses. Now, the time is almost over. I know. This is the last roll that I'm doing. Now, I want to have some kind of data here. Then you're going to tell me. So let me add data here. Let me add data in the student first. So let me add data here, insert. So remember, don't ever touch this one. Just leave it as it is. That's why I recommend using the shell. It is much easier to work it around that way. So I come and paste my data here. So we have the student S001, the name, Amina, and the email, blah, blah, blah. And we have the course. So we are attaching this course ID, C101. So let me insert it. So we have this one here. Let me delete this one. We no longer need this one. Also, we no longer need this one. Yeah. So we have, this is the data. Let us do for the courses. So the courses, same thing. Let me just copy it. Then I'm going to show you how things work. What is referencing? Just like primary and foreign key. What you just did in SQL, they apply here. After that, I do comma. Yeah, here it is. Now, let me explain what is happening here. Think of this like this. The student is taking a course. The same course may be taken by many students. So this course called web development is having like 1,000 people doing it. But this student called Amina is also doing this course. So updating the course info only needs one change in the course collection. So if I want to update the course, Amina is doing a course. This course is being done by so many people. I don't know if you're seeing the relationship. I don't know if you're seeing the relationship. I don't know if you're seeing the relationship. Great. If you're seeing the relationship, I guess you're relating it with the thing that you saw in SQL, whereby one course is done by many people, but one person is doing one course. Or many people are doing one course. Many people are doing one course, but one course is done by many people. One-to-one relationship, one-to-many relationship, many-to-one relationship. That's the thing that we are bringing here. That's why you can go to reference this and that one. It's a good thing that you did SQL. It is able to relate for it that way. Let us do another one. Let us do another one. Then I think we are going to do comparison. Then I can be able to show you the relationship between embedding and references. Let us do one more. Then we are going to call it. So we have another one whereby a blog post with the references to the author. So a blog post can be written by one author, but one author can write many blogs. You see? So this blog post has a reference to that one author, but this one author can write many blog posts. That's a simple example that I can able to give you. It's the same thing like this. So let us strike a difference between embedded and references and their use cases. So when you talk about one-to-one relationship, like profile info, one-to-one relationship, you use embedding, just like we saw about address, the profile info. One-to-one relationship, you use embedding, but not references. You don't use references for one-to-one. One to few, like one to few, we're talking about less than 10, less than 5. One to few, you talk about embedding, not references. One to many, you talk about referencing. Many to many, you talk about references. Frequently updated documents and so on, you talk about references. That is how you can be able to do it. So in a nutshell, that is all about MongoDB that I can offer to you. That is CRUD operation and data modeling. Those two things, when you understand them, trust me, it's going to be a walk in the park for you. Let me open forums for questions. Noisemakers, when you make noise on the chat, I cannot be able to read all of them, so have that in mind. I'm talking too fast. Okay, let me open. I know we have not understood all of us. That is fine. That is so much fine. No panicking. No panicking. I just need to take 5 questions raised up, hands, then we are going to call it a session. Only 5. Okay, let me enable the raising up of the hands again. So let us start by Brian Mwangi. I'm going to give you an order for speaking. So don't speak yet. Stephen, and then we have Warren. Where are the ladies? Margaret. And then we have from Nigeria. I think that's enough. Brian, talk to us.
Yeah, so hello and good afternoon.
Afternoon.
So I had a question concerning the lessons because according to your email, you said that we will be having daily sessions. Those are the 2 sessions. The first one for the content and the other one for practice. So I just needed some clarity. Does that mean we will be having sessions throughout the week apart from Wednesdays?
No. We are going to have sessions on Fridays, only Fridays. Yeah, only Fridays for Manstack. The rest of the week you have to yourself and to your assignments. And then Wednesday, we can schedule a catch up or not, depending on the schedule.
Okay, thank you.
Stephen.
Hi, sir. So I have, I think, 2 questions. One is like, why should I learn MongoDB and not Django? Like that's just a question that I've always been asking. Like, why? What's the benefit of MongoDB over all these other? Should I call them frameworks? And then, like, so what can't MongoDB do that these others can do? Because I feel like I've already known what MongoDB can do. That will really help me as I move forward. But I'm still learning the the course. Another question was I wanted to ask. There's a time when during the specialization session, like when we were talking. Okay. Hello.
I'm getting you.
Sorry, I've seen a timer nikadhani, and I thought probably it's over. So when you are talking about specialization, like session, you had said when we will want, I know not now, if we want, we can ask you to come up with a masterclass for M-Pesa APIs and such things like Daraja. At what point should we remind you of such stuff if when we want them? Yeah, I think that's all.
So I'll start with your first question. Why MongoDB is better? Remember, we have so many databases that are there. For me, particularly, I use several because of the different use cases. But generally, for you, I can answer this one. So MongoDB is also often considered better than other databases due to several advantages that it offers. Remember, it has advantages and disadvantages. One of the things is that it offers excellence in handling structured and semi-structured data, making it very flexible and very perfect choice for application that requires dynamic schema changes. Remember, MongoDB is there because when you're working with data that you can often change the schema, the structure, how it looks like. Like today, for example, it is circular. Today, it is square shaped. Like you see that structure. It can grow in size. You can be able to change it, the schema, how it behaves. MongoDB is the perfect one. It is the perfect one. And of course, it is open source. That is why. Number 2, your question regarding masterclass for M-Pesa. In the previous cohort, I conducted a masterclass for M-Pesa, and I think some of you, before you joined or just after you joined, or you enrolled in PLP, you attended my masterclass. I know there are some. So It is an arrangement that the academy has to do it from the request from the learners. Why did we do that? Because the previous cohort was Safaricom cohort. So of course, you see where I'm going, Safaricom cohort. So we did it that way. A lot of people did implementation on that, but not all of them. So the masterclass was there. We normally do master classes from the request from the academy. So it is going to be arranged depending on your request. But nevertheless, if so many of you request on that, we can go to offer it again. No problem. Let
Yeah,
us
thank you.
go to
I just remembered a question, the main question I wanted to ask you about MySQL. Sorry for this. Because we've learned it before and now I'm not seeing it anywhere. Will we need it in the course of this, whatever we are learning, software development? Am I like that one we put to the side? It's like I don't focus on it, Bisa. Yeah, that's all.
No, MySQL, it is good that you brought it up. MySQL was, you learned it for reference. You learned it because some of that data was very important for you to know how databases work. If you didn't learn MySQL, right now, we'll be talking something different. We'll be talking like, what is the database now to begin with? What is a relationship? So all of these were important for you at that time. So from now, no need to bring it up. You're not going to use it in ManStack anymore. We are just using it to refer to what we learned in MySQL so that we can do what to learn better in MongoDB.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Warren.
Hello, can you hear me?
Perfect.
My question is the afternoon class going to be a continuation of this one?
It's going to be a hands-on of this one. This one was just about content delivering. It is going to be more about practicing, to sing a bit like for 3 or 4 practicals, then you're going to make sure that it sinks in.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Agbo, that name is very difficult. Amarach.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning from Nigeria. Okay, I want to ask, since we'll be having an afternoon session, can we have a link of this before the afternoon session?
A link on?
The link, as in this session we had links. Can we access the link before the afternoon session?
Yeah, I'm going to upload the recording promptly as soon as it is done processing.
Okay.
Then you're going to find it on
How do we access it? Because on my LMS, I'm not seeing anything like that, like all these MenStack module.
You're not seeing ManStack. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see the problem. So many people have been given modules that they didn't register for. Don't worry. The information is going to be liaised to the department. You're going to be sorted.
Okay, another question, please. The first 5 modules, hope they will still be on our dashboard so that we can access them anytime we want.
Come again?
The first 5 modules, the software, the database, Python, and the rest. Hope we can still access them on
I
our
hope so.
LMS.
I hope so. I hope so. You should be able to access them until you graduate. That should not be a problem.
Okay, this semester, is there a point to integrate data analysis to it?
We are not going to do that analysis or anything data into ManStack. It's all about building web applications. So that is in the AI for software engineering class.
Okay. Now, I was a bit confused for AI for software engineering and MenStack. Now, if I'm a full stack developer and I have an AI software engineer, who do you think I will connect first? Who is the major person? Is it the MenStack or the AI?
If you are coming from a background of data, I think it is best for you to go to AI for software engineering because it is ventured more into that. If you want to become just barely a developer who does coding and everything, this is your place.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Margaret?
Am I audible?
Very audible.
Okay, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I have two queries. The first one is the queries you've shown us, like the crude. Are they, can they work the same on Windows, or you later send us the ones we can use on Windows? The second question is, are you open to assistance? For example, if how will you be able to assist someone apart from asking questions in class? Like, for example, if I have a question, are you open to being sent emails for assistance, or how will you be able to assist assist us during the 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 weeks, the training, whatever, the class weeks?
Impressive. So what I'll be doing, we have several occasions whereby we'll be handling classes, but let me start with your first question. Regarding the queries, MongoDB commands are same across the board, regardless of the operating system, Windows or anything. But remember, if you are not able to establish the MongoDB shell on your Windows, just install the MongoDB community server and then install the MongoDB Compass. Then within the MongoDB Compass, you can be able to use the MongoDB queries, those commands about MongoDB that I've been showing you. It is across the board. Number two, regarding assisting you across the week, we have several occasions. Right now, we have an occasion today for this class. You can ask question, I can help you directly. Number two, we have a catch-up class on Wednesday. Number three, we can schedule. We can schedule within the week, any day. Can be Monday, can be Tuesday, can be Wednesday, can be Thursday, whereby I can bring all of you together. Basically, you can have two catch-up classes, major one on Wednesday, but another one I can just do a brief call, 1 hour call, just to make sure that I can sort out common problems that you have, that I have received. So I'll be sharing surveys each and every week to make sure that I have the common problem or the common challenges that you guys have, that I can be able to solve all of them together in a particular session. Have I answered your question?
Not exactly like the way I had anticipated, or maybe not the way I maybe my phrasing was, I was not the exact way. But for example, when I was looking at the LMS on the notes on week one, there are things like they usually say like trials. You can try something, and I already saw one. We were told you to create some database and the likes and the likes and the likes. You see, someone might feel like trying, and they're not sure if they've done the correct thing. Then they might say, "Let me write the coding, and then maybe email to the teacher to ask them if I've done the right thing or the wrong thing." That's what I because you see, in class, not everyone might get the chance, because someone might be busy or might have been having different issues, and the time also might be limited. So if, for example, I did this trial that has been posted in the LMS, and I feel like, let me try and see, and email it to the teacher to see if I've done the right thing or the wrong thing, or where I might have gone wrong.